It's the Great Model Railway Challenge.
And guess what? We got a return, yes!
That's right. We're back for a second series.
Even bigger.
Even better.
Even brillianter.
The nation's top enthusiasts have come together once again to compete for the #1 prize in TV railway modelling.
It's full steam ahead.
The Great Model Railway Challenge is all about incredible layouts.
Controversy.
I'm worried that's a possible infringement of the rules and could lead to an unfair advantage.
And lashings of tea and cake.
That'll set my diabetes off a treat. Oh dear.
Series 1 saw Aberdeen Model Railway Club crowned champions.
Now 15 new teams of virtuoso modellers are taking a shot at the title.
But with more rounds to get through
and harder challenges to overcome,
the competition's going to be even tougher.
Oh my word, but fire on the track.
The 4 teams who reach the grand final
Blast off!
will do battle to win a coveted stand at the UK's most prestigious model railway exhibition.
And the honour of being declared the new champions
of the Great Model Railway Challenge. Only one team from each heat will automatically progress to the semi-finals. The 3 teams vying for that coveted spot this week are
Corby Model Railway Society, experienced modellers who believe in meticulous planning.
Corby has 6 Ps, which means proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Corby will be up against Fancott Miniature Marvels, a family team who are relishing this contest.
I think the competition's brilliant and hopefully we'll have a really good railway when it's finished.
The train set are a team of novice builders, but as professional biochemists, they're hoping science will help them overcome this challenge.
I think being scientists probably helps because we have got that background of planning everything and making sure that we've thought through from beginning to end. It is quite fun learning on the fly. Oh, this doesn't behave quite the way I thought it would. Never mind. Crack on.
These 3 teams will have just 3 days to build layouts that they think best depict this week's theme, the Restless Earth.
Welcome to the Great Model Railway Challenge. The theme for this week's heat is the Restless Earth.
Whether it's earthquakes or volcanoes or floods or tornadoes.
Or twisters.
Or tornadoes. Whatever you do, something big in scale but tiny in representation.
That's right. Now, as if that won't get you quaking, the judges surely will. You've got Kathy and you've got Steve, and they will be marking you on creativity, build quality and functionality. Does it work?
You have 3 days to make your disasters, and your time
now
has started.
No, it has. Crack on. It's on. Yeah.
All our teams have been issued with an identical 10-foot by 5-foot baseboard on which to build their Restless Earth layouts. An opportunity to depict all manner of miniature natural disasters.
But will their designs be earth-shattering enough to impress our 2 judges?
Award-winning master modeller and vlogger Kathy Millett.
The Restless Earth is a fascinating topic. I want to see them pushing the boundaries of modelling with this. I want them to make the Earth move for me.
And the editor of Railway Modeller magazine, Stern Steve Flint.
I've just got my bifocals in the wrong place. Just a second. I'm still expecting to see some first-class modelling and trains running faultlessly.
Ha! Corby and District Model Railway Society. Yes. Corby MRS to their friends. Francis.
Hello.
Lovely to meet you. What have you got in store for us then? This is your embryonic layout.
A volcano with lights and smoke. Also a lit tunnel. We have an earthquake.
Right.
A landslide.
Why, with these natural disasters, you're spoiling us.
Corby's natural disasters will wreak havoc on a 2-tiered layout, while a massive volcano smoulders. A high-risk lava mining operation will continue within. Meanwhile, a dinosaur-infested tar pit will begin to bubble and a devastating earthquake will trigger a catastrophic landslide.
Well, that sounds like an extraordinary amount of catastrophe for one layout.
It is really ambitious. Have you tested those animations before you came?
We certainly have. We've planned for every eventuality, and we're making sure that it all goes without a hitch.
Chris.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How long have you been in the hobby, model railways?
Yeah, about 2 years.
And how long have your team been in it?
About 2 months. So they started for this.
Right.
Yeah.
The train set may be novices when it comes to railway modelling, but for their day jobs, they're all high-flying cancer researchers.
We're not particularly knowledgeable about trains, but we do know how to research and research quickly.
We have to be quite dexterous with what we use in the lab, handling tubes and tiny plates and things. It's quite small scale, so hopefully that will be quite useful too.
So, Chris, talk us through the sort of overall feeling. What are we going to see in a couple of days on this layout?
Okay, so we've got a small village here of Beagleton.
Right.
But it's a nice sleepy town until everything starts to go wrong.
Have you got any tricks up your sleeve?
We've got a few little bits. We've got one surprise, which I'll keep under my hat for now.
You probably don't want to be beside the seaside on train set's coastal layout. A steaming Roman spa bath will be rattled by an earthquake that causes a nearby house to collapse and a train to derail. Ominously, while an ambulance speeds to the rescue, a dormant volcano will show signs of waking up.
OK, keeping your voice down so no one else hears. Do you think that what they are doing there you can beat? Do you think you're like, we cure cancer as a job, this is nothing?
We can definitely do it differently.
Come on, let's get out of it. We'll leave you to it.
Thank you very much.
All
OK.
right, Chris. Best of luck.
Nice to see you.
And the same to your team.
Hello, Fancott Miniature Marvels. Where's Fancott?
Fancott is a little village in Bedfordshire.
So what's your layout called?
A fracking disaster.
Fracking being the controversial policy of injecting high-pressure water into the Earth's crust to release, what, shale and oil?
Yeah.
Fancott's layout depicts the village of NIMBY, an acronym for Not in My Backyard. While terrified residents flee an earthquake caused by a bungled fracking operation, a massive sinkhole will open and devour an entire house, while a lake drains and swallows a boat. All in all, it's a right fracking mess.
Ron, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck to the inhabitants of the village of NIMBY.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's about to hit them.
That's right, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Experienced modellers Corby and Fancott are building their layouts the conventional way, getting their track laid and trains running before anything else.
5, 6. This morning, my plan is to get the track bed in, track laid, ballasted. I've got a good team behind me. Yes, we're confident.
All the tracks down, we've used what they call a set track, and you just lay it down, and it gets stuff running a lot quicker.
On Corby's baseboard at least, it looks like the old ways are still the best.
Steve, this is a first. We've never seen a team progress like this in such a short amount of time.
Incredible. Very, very impressive. They're using good old-fashioned techniques, set track, which goes together very, very quickly and easily, and they're testing it manually with these Pendolino trains.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Very impressive. If you can keep this up, you're going to go a long way.
Do you think the other teams have got a lot to learn from you?
Yes.
While Corby and Fancott stick to convention... Woo-hoo! Come on!
Everything working all right?
I think so, yeah.
Good-o.
Newbies the train set are taking an unorthodox and much more risky approach.
I guess the bottom you can always pad out with some newspaper
Yeah, that's fine.
and then model off over the top.
They focused on constructing their mountainous landscape rather than getting their track working.
I'm definitely feeling the pressure, but so long as we can get this constructed, plastered and dried down overnight, then we should be fine.
Early afternoon on day one of the Great Model Railway Challenge, and after getting trains running on their Restless Earth themed layout, the captain of Corby MRS is positively cock-a-hoop.
Services are currently delayed on novice builders the train set's layout.
Is it worth leaving the rough edges up? Yeah.
But thanks to that old modelling staple, chicken wire, their mountainous landscape is shaping up nicely.
We've got an awful lot to do, but a lot of it has happened quite quickly, so I think we were quite impressed with how quickly the volcano came together, so hopefully this should all come together quite quickly as well.
Fangkop Miniature Marvels also have trains running.
Yes, all good. All right.
But like the fracking technique they depict, might their layout be plain boring?
Fangkop. I don't think anyone can hear us from here, but they've got these huge flat open areas, and I was assuming that if they were going to have a lot of flat ground, you'd want to introduce a lot of detail there to hide the fact that it's flat.
Yeah.
But they don't appear to be doing that.
So what you want here is to make sure you have variety.
Right.
When you have large spaces of grass, they have to look interesting.
Feels like it's going to miss plants and flowers and shrubs and
Definitely.
because it's flat and it's kind of boring, isn't it?
You can get a lot of things to make it look less flat, but you're starting from a harder base.
When they're not competing on UK television's leading model railway building competition, the Miniature Marvels like nothing better than hanging out in Captain Ron's back garden.
I love railways, I mean, there's no doubt about it, and I think, yeah, a lot of people are the same. It gives them that release, you know, and you can have a wind down and watch the trains. Figure out where you're going to go with the train, bring it out of a yard, couple it up to wagons or carriages, and run it around the garden. When I was at work, sometimes you have some really stressful days, and I used to come home and unwind on the railway, basically.
Tim,
what?
These guys do like a tea break.
Yeah, well, I can tell you why that is. I found them. They've been busted. Massive amount of biscuits. Here are. Chocolate finger?
No, thank you.
Party ring?
No.
Garibaldi?
It's James, Tim.
In order to showcase their modelling skills to the judges, each team can bring along 6 pre-built items to enhance their layouts. Craig from Team Corby's Pièce de Résistance is primed to set this competition alight.
Craig, I'm dead excited. This looks awesome. The theme is Restless Earth. What is this beast?
This beast is a volcano, believe it or not.
I mean, it looks like a wooden construction with a lava lamp inside it.
So the scenery's been designed to use clear plastic, and then we'll mesh over the top to enable that lava lamp light to glow through. On the other side of this tower, you've got a pipe.
I see it.
And then you fill the water in.
Yeah, it's
heating element in there.
Ah, and that steam comes up this pipe here and out of the top.
Out the top.
This man loved making this.
I did. It's going to be the feature point of the layout.
I have never seen anything like this on a layout, and if it works, wow.
Craig's model building prowess should come as no surprise. Corby MRS is one of the UK's most venerable modelling clubs.
The Society has been in existence since 1965. We have our own club grounds, which consists of an acre, and on that acre we have a 5-inch miniature railway.
With members aged 16 to 72, Corby MRS is a broad church for the modelling faithful.
The Society has been there now for 52 years. And we have just had our lease renewed, so we are guaranteed another 25.
Another club stalwart is Kevin, who's made his pre-built landslide feature with some unexpected material.
The top surface is a tea towel, but don't tell the wife.
Does it work?
Well, that's with it now before the landslide. You pull this piece of fishing line up, and all we do is let go. The landslide.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
We've got 1 or 2 bits on the layout, I think, that would be quite amusing, and this might be one of them.
Model railways and water don't play well together. Fortunately, alternatives are available.
Who did the water work?
I did.
Wow. And have you ever done that kind of thing before?
Not until yesterday afternoon.
Richard, some people spend years trying to get that kind of effect. Am I right, Kathy?
Yeah, I love the pond with the vegetation in it and the rocks and the stuff coming out. It just looks awesome. I really think it's very, very well done.
Did you watch any kind of online videos or anything?
I probably spent longer on YouTube watching videos, really learning it and writing a little protocol, and then just had a bash.
You would not think that. This is awesome.
At this rate, you'll be doing the judging next year. Outstanding.
Don't give my job away.
While work continues on the main boards, next door in the art room, the creatives are working on more of the scenics they hope will bring the layout to life.
So this is part of the backdrop for our town. And then I'm going to make it stand out a little bit by adding 3D trees and flocking bits of grass, so to make it look more realistic, hopefully.
So if you take into account everything that we need to do, from the tiniest thing right up to the shop front's the biggest thing, there's probably about 110 things that we need to construct. The pressure is on, but we can do it.
We can.
Yeah.
Just looking forward to that point tonight.
Yeah.
As day one draws to a close, the judges retire to the station house to consider the provisional marks they'll award the teams for their creativity.
I'm really proud of the team. We're ahead of schedule. The volcano is taking shape and every other part is coming together.
Tested the water and that works all right, and there's no leaks, so that's good. Trains are running, electrics are working, so I'm really happy how today's gone.
We had quite a slow beginning, but I think we caught up. So I'm really proud of the whole team. Considering they've got no experience, that they're doing so well.
A very pleasing day one then on the Restless Earth. A bit early to judge the teams yet on quality of build or functionality.
But not on creativity.
Exactly.
Creativity still needs to be delivered. At this point, we're looking at what they've said they're going to do, not what they've achieved yet.
Right. Steve, let's start with you and the train set.
Creativity is all about imagination and thinking outside the box. You know, these guys may be newbies, but what they're proposing sounds pretty creative to me.
If you were to give it a number between 0 and 5, what would it be?
For creativity, I would say they're on target for a 4.
Kathy, would you go along with that?
Do you know, I'm going to go with a 3. I hear they've got a big surprise which might boost them, but I don't know what it is yet.
OK, let's go to Team Corby.
I'm going to give them a 4. What I've seen today has been really impressive. They've got scenery, they've got volcanoes.
Steve.
Corby Steelman, they're steely-eyed, they're stealing ahead. It's more than you ever see at a model railway show up and down the country. So that's why I'm forecasting they're going to pick up a 5 on creativity if they pull it all off.
5 from Steve. Was not expecting that. Wow.
All right, Kathy, let's talk about One Night in Fancott.
Do you know, they've got all the elements they've been talking about. They've got the sinkholes, they've got the draining lake. I think I'd probably go with a 3.
Steve, what do you think of Fancott and their projected layout?
I'm a little bit underwhelmed, really, when it comes to their creativity, and I'm only going to forecast a 2.
A 2? Wow, low.
I think we can all agree that there's been phenomenal progress by all 3 of these teams on this first day.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
So, with the provisional marks for creativity in, Corby have their noses in front. But if any of the teams fail to deliver on what they've promised, the judges won't hesitate to dock points.
I have been blown away by how much they've got done today. I just hope in the race to get finished, they don't let that build quality suffer.
One day into this great model railway challenge, and so far we've seen some pretty solid groundwork, ironically, in this Restless Earth theme. Family-fueled Frackers Fancott have made a fine start. Lab-coated boffins, the train set may have the right formula. And as for Corby, well, they could just have the biggest animated disasters on their hands since the Emoji Movie.
Until now, the teams have concentrated on impressing the judges with their creative concepts. Today, the focus shifts to their craftsmanship.
Yesterday, the teams made a blistering start, but today is about build quality. I hope they're not just going to settle with good enough.
So now I've got various things to do today, like finish the shore. It's going to be tight, I think, but it is still going according to plan.
I laid the road down yesterday, and it wouldn't run.
During the final demonstration, Marisol's temperamental white van is supposed to vanish into a sinkhole.
I'm not even thinking about if it doesn't work, because it'll work and it'll be fine.
Corby's volcanic core lava lamp has also vanished under a mountain of plaster.
Last night we worked really hard to get this cupboard over. It needed to be done to meet the deadlines that we need to achieve. We haven't got long left now to get it all done, so we're cracking on.
Biochemists The Train Set have promised the judges a coastal scene overshadowed by a rumbling volcano that conceals a surprise feature.
OK, so guys, at some point we're going to need to test the CO2. There's a mechanism for that.
Keep it all hidden, keep secrets safe.
If it works, it's going to be amazing. If it doesn't, then go big or go home.
I think we've gone big. Hopefully we don't go home.
Yeah.
The Train Set are clearly making good headway with their scenery, but in contrast have still yet to test their electronics. It's a perilous approach.
There's a little bit of wiring to do. It shouldn't be too bad. And after that, we've got the road system to get down and to make sure that's working.
Steve, the Train Set's efforts, what do you think?
It's coming on pretty well for newcomers to this hobby, definitely. The scenery is looking quite well produced. However, the track work's a little bit dodgy. There are a few kinks in those lines that they've laid.
Is that just an aesthetic problem, or does it mean that the trains fall off?
It can mean trains fall off. If the teams are going to score highly, I want to see the trains running perfectly. They've got a good country mile to go.
That far?
Fancott miniature marvels are deliberately racing headlong towards an environmental catastrophe caused by irresponsible fracking. But Judge Cathy has spotted an unintentional accident that is waiting to happen: botched ballasting.
Wow, my cat's got less gravel in her litter tray.
And you can't say never mind the ballast. It forms the bed of a train track. In model railways, sand or grit are used to emulate the rocks or rubble found in the real world.
Tell me about your ballasting. Can anything actually run when you've got this much rock in the way?
Believe it or not, everything runs absolutely fine. And we've tested it, and there's not a problem.
Ron, I'm really worried, though, because any one of these bits of gravel could derail a train. Today, we're focusing on build quality.
Absolutely.
Get this fixed.
Right, we'll do.
Fancott's ballast may have received a blasting, but Steve is salivating over Corby's, laid by Kevin.
This piece of ballasting here, this section, is absolutely amazing. It's as smooth as hot buttered toast.
That's very pleasing to hear that.
Do keep up the good work.
Day 2 of the heats is Scratch Build Challenge Day.
Regarded by many in the hobby as the pinnacle of modelling skill, scratch building is the art of turning everyday household materials into beautiful scenic items.
The modellers must somehow incorporate 3 random objects into their layouts, and with 2 bonus points at stake for the winner, they'll need to get creative.
The Scratch Build Challenge. Some people think it's really mean, but we need to understand the calibre of the modellers we're dealing with, and this will test them.
Now, these 3 items come from Steve's crazy planned night out. So the first item is a tutu.
Thank you.
There you go. Party poppers. And the third one, hair gel. That's got to get into your layout somewhere. So there's a lot to play for. The 2 points could be the difference between you making it through to the semis or not. Get scratching.
My solution for the Scratch Build Challenge is going to be that I'm going to get the party poppers, I'm going to take the labels off. I'm going to use a few of them as water tanks, fill them with hair gel so that it looks like we've got water in them. And then they're going to supply our fracking yard down here.
The top, I'm turning into plant pots. And then the bottom half that's cut off, see, not wasting it, traffic bollards.
Turning these party poppers into barrels that we're going to have in our quarry. So I just want to muddy them up a bit, make them look a bit more dirty and used.
While the scratch builders crack on, work continues on the main baseboards.
Very precise. When you're doing this, are you what's going through your head?
It's really relaxing.
Right.
Surprisingly, even here.
Is it really?
Yes, you can focus on one thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really. I do get a lot of.
How come you got into model railway making?
Oh, because Stevie, my son, is really into trains.
So it's becoming a family thing for you, is it?
Yeah,
Like
because we spend more time with each other.
Right.
And I think he's 15 now.
Yep.
And it's going to get to the point where he actually really will refuse to spend any time with me.
Any competition between the two of you? Stevie, who's better, you or your mum?
I am.
On the train sets board, detailed work continues on everything but the train set.
I'm attaching some dinosaur bones to the cliff. This one I modelled after a Tarbosaurus. It's a close relative of the T-Rex. What I did, I laminated some printouts of skeletons in the right size, and then I used putty on top of those laminated sheets to mould the bones, and then I could prise them off and end up with bones.
Helen's adopting an equally scientific approach to the Scratch Build Challenge.
I've made a geyser using the hair gel bottle. So I've got some stones in, I've got some tubing here, which will run to a pot underneath that will have some expanding gas in it, so hopefully it should make some nice bubbles up through it. But I just need to embed it down into the board so that it's not sitting proud and so that the tubing can then be hidden underneath the board. Let's have a go now. God.
While Helen grapples with her geyser, teammate Ola is an ocean of calm in the art room.
This is an amazing piece of back scene.
Thank you.
You've used texture, you know, the scenic scatters and materials that normally go on the landscape. You've put it on the back scene to give it a certain kind of texture, and it lifts it from being a two-dimensional back scene into a three-dimensional image. Have you enjoyed making this?
It took me nearly a whole day yesterday, but I do really enjoy it. I miss painting a little bit because I used to do it more often.
Oh, I see.
It used to be my hobby.
It certainly shows that you've got a talent in that area.
Thank you so much.
Superb.
Mind out, mind out.
You have 5 minutes to complete the Scratch Build Challenge.
These are going on. They are now custom barrels for the tar factory.
I think I've got all the strands separated.
OK.
We just need to flip these back inside and we're done.
Your time is up. Please step away from your board.
Matt, Team Fancot, the Scratch Build Challenge, you were given 3 items.
Yes.
Where are the bad boys?
So we have the hair gel tub is now our village water tower. We have the party poppers now in our fracking yards. They are now water containers, and the strings from the party poppers are now running down and under the fracking tower to supply the water.
OK, the tutu?
The tutu is now smoke coming out of our chimneys of our houses, and then we've got 2 other things hidden away with the netting.
Oh, OK, you've got a little guy here in a little hammock?
Yes, and we have one other thing.
Is it that lonely football net?
It is the lonely football net.
OK, Kathy?
It's all in place, I can see all the bits.
Well done, dude. Good luck. Right, Helen, team the train set. I can't see any of them, so where are they?
Excellent. So we have the bottom of the hair gel container just there forming our geyser. Tomorrow those will be trimmed down, it'll be filled with water, and then we'll have expanding gas that will then cause lovely little bubbles to ripple up through. Inside Mount Beagle is the tutu. It forms part of our surprise for tomorrow. And then the third item is the party poppers, which we have incorporated as our hazardous sludge over in the quarry. And then I've also used the hair gel and tinted it iridescent pink and iridescent green.
OK, so 1, 2, 3. That's all 3 of the items. Well done. Francis, your 3 items, where are they?
The tutu has been used on the volcano to make it look like an eruption.
That's cool.
Party poppers I've used to look like the tar factory's own purpose-made flasks.
So, moving on to the hair gel.
I used the contents in my tar pit.
So you're saying that that's just pure hair gel?
That has been watered down a little.
And that's all 3 of the items. Well done. Excellent stuff.
Thank you. I've nailed those 2 points, so I definitely think we're winning.
Well, we'll soon see about that, eh? Some pretty blistering ingenuity out there. Let's start with Corby. How do you think they did?
I felt the party poppers were a little bit disappointing, but that tutu looked really great.
Right, let's move on to the team train set.
Those barrels they'd done with the hair gel coming out coloured were amazing. They were really good. The other 2, I mean, I couldn't even see the tutu. Telling me it's going to happen tomorrow. It's the Scratch Build Challenge today.
Right, what about Fancot?
They did everything with bells on. I mean, they used everything 3 or 4 times. So, yeah, I think they win just on ingenuity, dogged determination and getting it all on there.
We won the Scratch Build Challenge. Yay. We got the 2 points. Yay. Yes, we did.
Oh, well done,
we did indeed.
Brilliant. Well done, mate. Yeah, well done.
I can't believe we've won. 2 points for the team. That's 2 points towards winning. Brilliant.
Those 2 bonus points could be decisive when the final scores are totted up. But for now, all 3 teams must remain focused on their build quality, which they'll be marked on later today.
Is there anything that's worrying you?
For me, the wiring, and I really want to crack on with that this afternoon.
You've not wired your track yet?
No, the track's wired.
Yeah.
It's just getting all to come together, to be honest.
You've still got a long way to go, so don't take the foot off the pedal.
Thank you.
Yesterday, Team Corby got off to a faultless start. But they're yet to deliver on a veritable smorgasbord of natural cataclysms they promised the judges. Much will hinge on how well Craig's star animation performs.
So now I'm going to just plug it in and see what happens. Fingers crossed we should have some... Yes! Smoke out the top of the volcano.
And an enormous volcano isn't the only thing Craig will be bringing to the party.
Craig, first of all, I know you're eager to flip the switch and see if it works. Yes. What have you actually made here?
It's 2 plates with springs in between, and then you've got a motor drive unit which will rotate to give the top plate the movement we need. Hopefully, if I flick the switch...
Wow!
We've now got movement. Oop. There we go.
Don't push too hard, we might break it.
That reminds me of something, but I can't think what.
Don't let's go there, James. It's a bit of a
test. It's the first attempt.
Yes,
so,
so it is working. It is working.
It delivers a seismic shock. In many ways, it's breaking new ground, would you say?
Yes, if you really want to use that pun.
Unlike Corby, Fancott have taken a low-fi, low-risk approach to their key animations. Their lake will drain courtesy of a plug hole being removed.
Awesome. I think that works.
Yeah, OK then, guys, that is brilliant.
And the mechanism that triggers their sinkhole is appropriately down to earth.
I think, guys, we're ready to test this.
Give it a whirl. Yeah, give it a go. Go.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
Oh. Hey!
Yeah, that's pretty good. That works really well.
As day 2 draws to a close, it's time for the judges to allocate their provisional marks for build quality.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've seen plenty of good progress from all 3 teams today.
Let's talk about team train set.
Well, the actual track laying and the ballasting is really quite poor.
We know these guys are novices. Do you think that means that they might fall down in build quality?
It's possible because they haven't got the experience behind them to make things work properly. But other elements of their work is really quite impressive. It's great to see some new ideas evolving from outside the boundary of the hobby. I think they're on target for a 3 out of 5 for me.
Steve's been won over. What about you, Kathy?
What they've done needs a little bit extra polish.
Kathy, your mark?
I'm going to give them a 2. Now, it could go up tomorrow when they've finished it.
Corby?
Superb build quality. They've used traditional techniques. Corby are on target for a 4 for build quality.
Kathy, what do you think?
To me, it's just a little bit rough around the edges. That might come overnight, and tomorrow we'll wait and see. At the moment, I think it's a solid 3.
OK, the final team, Fancott. Let's start with Kathy. What do you reckon?
I think their build quality is very consistent. If I was to come up with a detractor, it's certainly that the centre is very flat.
Steve?
Yes, I agree. It's all a bit level.
Isn't that just traditional model railway making, though?
Well, up to a point, but don't forget, this is a competition. We're looking for innovation. I don't think the build quality is particularly coming on well.
Put a number on it, Steve.
Well, I'd go for on target about 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 3 and be slightly more generous than Steve. As long as it all works.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, because those guys are playing it fairly safe, but they could possibly score a 5 tomorrow.
If the trains go around the track.
Exactly.
With the marks for build quality in, Corby maintain their lead, but Fancott have drawn level with the train set thanks to their triumph in the scratch build. But none of these marks are set in stone and could go up or down depending on how things go tomorrow.
One modeller hoping to benefit from the score's flexibility is Richard. His team may be 4 points adrift, but his coastal scene could possibly turn the tide.
I'm most worried about getting the shoreline looking realistic. I did a first layer of acrylic paint. I then let that cure for as long as possible. I then used the same colours to mix into resin.
If this biochemist can master the art of synthetic water, he could earn crucial additional build quality points for the train set.
I think it'll get there. I know it will get there.
Final day of this great model railway challenge, and we've had some great times with these teams. But now, big questions must be resolved. Like, can the train set win their Great British Quake-Off with Corby? Will Corby win it with a landslide? And what about Fancott? With the pressure on, can they finally inject the drama their fracking is so far lacking? Let's find out.
Team Corby are steaming into the final day with characteristic conviction.
The layout looks good. We're feeling confident enough that we can actually win this competition.
On Fancott's layout, spirits are also distinctly high.
Yep, that's good. This is going to be the best day of our lives, I think, and we're going to win this.
Which could have something to do with what they're smoking.
I've got this. Do you want to give Ola a hand?
On Team Trainset's baseboard, first-time railway modeller Richard's coastal scene is finally complete.
I'm so impressed by how the board's come together. I never expected it to look this good. I'm just staggered. So that's the first time I've done resin. That's the second time I've done resin. So dead chuffed with how that's come out, for sure.
Unfortunately, this isn't the Great Model Coastal Scenery Challenge. These railways need to function, and the train set's wiring is still in a shocking state.
Can you turn the track off? Stop electrocuting me. It's not fun.
We're going to definitely test the earthquake. In fact, we're pretty confident on that. But yeah, I'll get in there. I think we've just been over ambitious with a lot of things.
And it's not all plain sailing for Corby either.
Front, still no steam.
The centrepiece of their layout, Craig's smouldering volcano, has suddenly fallen dormant.
We're up against the clock now, but we're going to try and go in there now and try and sort out the problem. The hardest part we've got is not actually fixing the fault, actually getting into the structure now to try and get to the transformer inside.
Teams, you've only got 30 minutes left to complete your layouts.
30 minutes, guys, 30 minutes, come on. That's all we needed at the 11th hour.
And now, the wheels are falling off on Fancott's layout too.
Is it running?
Nope.
Stopped it.
No, she's off.
And she's off. Get ballast in there? It's got to be, isn't there? What's happened here is we finished the ballast in this morning. We've got a little bit of ballast into the actual under the rail, so it's just catching the wheels and fetching it off the railway. Use that.
Attention teams, you have 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes remaining.
Brad, do the lights need to go on?
Could you find me a small paintbrush?
We haven't even got a working train at this point, so...
No.
We had a bit of a short-out issue.
You have just 5 minutes remaining of the competition.
If you get it wrong, we won't have a running track. I don't think it's worth it.
1 minute to go, everybody.
Right, so it's bent at the minute.
Yeah, it's just a loose connection.
Everything else is right, yeah?
5, 4, 3. Guys, get ready to stand back on your boards, please. 2,
Can you put it back on track, please?
1. Please step away from your boards, every single one of you.
Feeling really nervous. Time's gone. We've got a lot of things done, but not as much as we wanted to do.
No problems. Just hopefully when we test it all for the judges, it will all work and be absolutely brilliant. I have no issues and no worries.
I'm nervous now, but you see, even the most confident person at some point in their lives will become nervous.
The team's friends and families have arrived at Fawley Hill to witness the layouts being judged.
At this stage, Corby have a healthy lead, but the crucial demonstration round is next. And if theirs isn't disastrous enough, it could see their challenge derail.
Today's all about functionality. One full step could be the difference between winning and losing.
First to demonstrate their layout, Fancott Miniature Marvels. If all goes well, their village of Not In My Backyard is about to find itself caught up in a man-made catastrophe. But will their low-fi approach lack the ambition our judges expect?
Let's get fracking.
Well, this tower should start working in a second, hopefully. And
OK.
There we go. And the locals are not happy. They're out with all their banners and signs.
They're not happy, are they?
They're not happy. They're definitely not happy.
Right, and here come the train, a couple of carriages.
Right, yeah, so the local train's just gone round. We have at the branch line a preserve railway of Bangkok.
Oh, look at the smoke puffing. That's beautiful.
He's now come to a stopping station. All the enthusiasts are now getting on. Poor old Nimby's now going to have a nasty disaster. So the sinkhole opens up.
Oh, look, look. Oh, yes.
And now you'll see the lake drain away. So we have the local fishermen who are now really upset because obviously all their water's disappeared. Mr. White Van Man, he's got a little bit of a problem.
Oh, no. That was brutal.
And we also have what we call a rescue train. He's going out now to rescue the villagers out of Nimby and take them away.
OK.
What he would do...
So he needs rescuing now?
Yes, he needs rescuing now.
Have you got another rescue train for the rescue?
No, he's going. One of the protesters has decided he's going to go over there and sort the fracking tower out. And the local police have now turned up and they're obviously trying to coax him off the fence.
This is awesome. Guys, can we give Team Bangkok a round of applause, please?
That's the money shot right there.
Next up, Corby MRS. Confident of victory from the outset, their disaster-strewn layout has suffered a last-minute calamity of its own, thanks to a misfiring volcano.
The incredible amount of work that's gone into the planning of this. Have you had any kind of life at all?
No, not for 2 months.
Have you had any kind of wife at all?
No, not for 2 months.
Right.
She may be here.
Let's find out if these guys are Corby or not Corby. OK, let's do it.
So what we're seeing now is a Class 37 diesel locomotive. We've got Forley Over farm. It's going to Forley over. As you can see, there's a bit of seismic activity here.
Quite sensual, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah. I've never been in an earthquake. Is it like that?
We've now got the lava mine making lava lamps. We've got the locomotive now going down into the mine, collecting the lava, and then hopefully the train will come back out of the mine with the glowing lava inside the wagon.
Stuck.
Yes.
Is the train stuck?
It's a minor disaster.
You had to knock on the driver to wake him up.
So the lava is now glowing in the top of the wagons.
Yeah.
The machine's unloading the lava out to the Ottersell Lava Lamp Company.
Oh,
The volcano's got these attractive streaks of glowing magma.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing any smoke coming out.
No, there isn't any smoke, unfortunately. We've had a slight technical issue this morning.
OK.
With all the seismic activity, what we basically get is a geyser. Whoa! So the geyser has now just gone off.
Whoa.
And over there, we've got Forley Down.
Oh, it's a landslide. That's amazing.
So the tar pit is going to start to bubble away.
Battleship floating in the tar pit?
Yeah, that's the tar pit.
And the locomotive then is collecting the tar in the tar wagons, and they're coming to the factory at this end.
A company called?
Tar Ferry Merch. And then we've got two main lines, one running a freight, which is a 37, and then the other locomotive is a rail tour with Class 66 on.
Ooh, carnage.
We have a derailment here on this outer track.
Yeah, I think it's because it's dragging 90. I hadn't actually practiced that earlier.
Well, shame about the derailment, but Tim?
Yeah, let's have a round of applause for Team Corby, guys. Well done.
Novice modellers, the train set are last to demonstrate. Their seaside town of Beagleton is due to get a good kicking from Mother Nature. But question marks remain about whether their trains and animations will actually function.
On your marks, train set, go.
And we're off. So we've got a local service going round. It's a very quiet area, Beagleton.
Oh, a derailment?
You could say it's a very eager animation. I think we will be having a derailment there. It just went a bit early.
All right, OK, good. And will other trains be moving?
What we made the town famous was the discovery of dinosaur remains. So obviously the town council's really gone to town with the idea, and they've got a dinosaur park there with a geezer.
That coastline, though, Richard, you made that.
I did.
And is
yes.
that your first time making a kind of like a coastal scene?
Yes, I mean, the first time I poured resin was the river. The second time I've ever poured resin was this coastal scene.
Wow, I think that's amazing.
Oh,
wow.
Working spa.
Oh, yummy. What is that smell?
Some sort of aromatherapy.
Smells like a cheeky tikka curry.
Come on, let's
If you want to relax, that's how you do it.
Are we watching the sublimation of CO2 dry ice coming out of it?
Dry ice and water, yeah.
Right.
OK, so Beagleton was a beautiful town before the quarry turned up. And there's some rumours that the quarrying has caused some local tremors. But we'll see if those rumours are true.
They're not.
Well, maybe these rumours aren't true.
You promised us a big surprise then, Chris.
Well, this is a surprise.
Yes.
This is great. The derailment as well, that was good.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's about. Yes. Oh, trains are off again. Trains up again. That's good. Oh, it's off again.
Ambulance.
We've got ambulance waiting to a scene. He's made it.
Oh, that's superb. That's the only working vehicle we've seen so far. And am I right in thinking there's one other big thing?
So it sounds like there could be something coming from Mount Beagle over there.
We've got something here. Oh, gosh.
Have you tested this before, Chris?
This is all on the job testing. Safety specs, anyone at all, just in case it does explode?
That was awesome. That gave me a real shock. Oh, that was amazing.
That was incredible. Were you expecting that to happen?
Is that Steve's tutu?
It is.
Steve, I'm sorry. We'll get you another.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Can we have a round of applause for the train set? That was awesome.
The demonstrations are over, so now it's all down to the judges. Will Fancott's near-flawless frack attack put them in front?
Everything went really well, and hopefully we'll make it through to the next round.
Have Corby gone a catastrophe too far? And will their impotent volcano leave them swinging in the wind?
I'm feeling a little nervous now, because you just don't know what's going through their minds.
Or could Nutty Professor's The Train Set get the results they want from their epic experiment?
I think the judges were really impressed with it, and we didn't give them a heart attack, so that's also good. If it's enough, that's another question.
Welcome back to this Restless Earth-themed Great Model Railway Challenge. Having demonstrated their layouts, all the teams can now do is wait while the judges decide what marks to award them for functionality and whether to revise the provisional scores they'd previously awarded for creativity and build quality.
Those demonstrations were amazing. And I guess that means we can now talk finally about functionality, starting with Fancott.
Everything worked flawlessly.
The sinkhole was phenomenal, wasn't it?
That was certainly flawless.
Yeah. First thing I saw a very small hole open up and get bigger and bigger. I think the whole thing, in my mind, and what do I know, was pretty good.
Well, Fancott, overall, fairly average in my view. The trains were not particularly exciting in terms of anything operational, and the reservoir that was sinking into the earth That was a bit slow and a bit mundane. There was nothing there that made me reach for my blood pressure pills.
Should we talk then about Corby?
The trains ran, but there was some issues.
Well, hang on, the landslide. I mean, that was a phenomenal piece of engineering. It worked well.
I was underwhelmed with the final product. It didn't come up to my expectations.
Wow. Kathy?
I actually liked all the animations. I thought they went well, but there were derailments and the trains didn't run. It's a model railway challenge.
And the biggest thing on that layout was a volcano which didn't puff. That's
unfortunately.
And the geyser worked as well.
The geyser was amazing.
OK. That just leaves, Steve, the train set.
Well, here is a layout of many contrasts. There's some superb modelling on there, particularly the cliffs and the seafront there. That's been really, really well done. And the piece of back scene at the back, that was really very clever. However, the actual railway didn't run as well as it could have done. Indeed, there was only one circuit. I know they had a deliberate derailment, but they were all beginners, so they've got lots to learn.
Hang on, one word though, Steve. Volcano.
The volcano was superb. Now, that's probably pulled them up in terms of points as far as functionality is concerned.
In terms of the brief, how much does that incredible volcano explosion, how much does that count?
I mean, wow, yeah. I cannot say how great that was. Unfortunately, I'm going to go back to what I said about Corby. A model railway has to run, and they derailed. Their derail, unfortunately, derailed every time. That's the main loop, and they only had one loop.
In terms of the other categories, build quality and creativity, have those demonstrations changed your minds at all about those?
Yes, I'm going to have to reflect on the scores on those two categories.
OK.
Kathy, any revisions?
Only a couple, but I think they will impact the final score.
This is close, isn't it?
Yep.
Come on, give us a clue. Who is it?
You just have to wait with everyone else.
Let's get out of here. Come on.
Next level delivery.
Guys, can I say on behalf of all of us here and the crowd, thank you for putting on such a fantastic show.
We've been shaken and stirred, but as you know, unfortunately, only one team can go directly through to the semi-final. So time to find out who made the best Restless Earth judges.
This week's competition has been an incredibly close call. Kathy?
And the winner is...
Come on. We don't even know.
Corby and District.
So, congratulations to Corby for making it through to the semi-finals, but all is not yet lost for the others, as the highest-scoring runner-up from across the 5 heats will earn the last wildcard place into the semis.
I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't go through, but at the same time, we had some really stiff competition, and at the end of the day, they just had a better layout, and I'm still happy with what we did.
Trainset really gave Corby a run for their money, but at the end, experience showed through.
It's a competition. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to come on the runners-up. You never know. We might be back one day.
Yes, it was very, very close. There was so much going for everyone in this competition. Corby's layout was best all round.
I'm feeling absolutely fantastic, and I know my team are feeling it as well. We stand a very good chance of winning the whole competition, but time and the judges will tell. Yes! Woohoo!
Next week, 3 more teams of modellers will build 3 new layouts to a brand new theme, classic books. Will the team's creations prove stranger than fiction?
That is a right pudding, mate.
And can one layout provide a fairy tale ending?
The winner is...
That new Great Model Railway Challenge is same time next Friday. Tomorrow night at 8, it's Tony Robinson who's on the tracks on his Around the World by Train adventure that begins down under. Next tonight, with £5 million worth of art on the walls, we're in the lap of luxury in brand new the world's most expensive cruise ships.